If you're looking for any TCG accessories, check out Imperium Duelist at the link below. They offer a wide variety of products such as sleeves, deck boxes, dice, binders, apparel, and playmats, including my very own playmat, Blazing Permafrost, which is on sale now. You can get all of these amazing products for 10% off using my discount code WINNERKILLS10OFF at checkout and support the channel in the process. What's up guys, Winner Kills here, and we're back with another first place locals deck profile. I'm here with my man Sheen, and he played the Spice today. What did you play?
I played Mutants.
Mutants. Now why did you play the Mutant strategy?
So ever since they revealed the Mutant strategy whenever they came out, I was really interested in how they played and the interconnectedness of some of the cards, the small ones banishing to some of the big ones and the big ones being immune and retrieving other cards. I thought it was really interesting, and I really hoped that Konami would flesh out the TCG exclusive archetype a little more, but they didn't. So after I pre-ordered everything, I said I might as well just keep playing it and do something with it.
So let's go ahead and see that first place list, my man.
All right, so main deck playing 3 MT-05, the Mutant 05 and the Mutant 46. So 46 on normal or special searches your spells and trap cards, and 05 searches your monsters. They both have an effect to tribute themselves and banish a card from your face-up field or your hand to special summon the appropriate mutant monster. So if you banish a spell card, you can special summon Mutant Mist. This can't be targeted with spell effects. If your opponent activates a trap card or a trap effect, you can banish a card from your hand or field and draw 2. And if it's destroyed by your opponent, you can add a banished mutant monster to your hand. So in control matchups where everyone's flipping punishment, this is actually kind of nice because they flip punishment, they pop, but then you get to draw 2. So who really comes out on top of that?
Yeah, pot of greed, basically.
You gotta love pot of greed.
You gotta love it.
Next is Mutant Beast. Beast is the only negate that the deck has access to in the main deck. So this guy comes out if you banish a monster. He can't be targeted with monster effects. If your opponent activates a spell card or a spell effect, you can banish from the field or hand to negate that spell effect and banish that card. And if he's destroyed, he adds a banished mutant trap to your hand.
Nice.
So he's really nice for kind of controlling the game. It's noticing, like, opening up hands, sometimes you open doubles of a certain monster, like a hand trap or something, so he's really nice to sit on because he's 24 both ways. Not being able to be targeted with monster effects also comes up kind of often, and it's really nice just to get him out there and just sit on it because, you know, Heavy Storm Duster, or not Heavy Storm Duster, excuse me, Twin Twister, Lightning Storm, they're all great side cards, so this is great just to end on turn 1.
Absolutely.
The final one that I play main deck is Mutant Arsenal. So this guy is actually kind of the offense of the deck. He's a machine that can't be targeted by traps. So he comes out by banishing a trap card. Can't be targeted with trap effects, so punishment is mute at this case. If your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish a card from your field or hand to target a monster on your side of the, or your opponent's side of the field and banish it. So really nice for spot removal. If you activate a card and they chain a hand trap, you can then respond with this to either banish the card you're attempting to activate or banish something else in the field and just remove a monster from the field for free.
Very nice.
His other effect is if he's destroyed, I can add a banished spell card, a banished mutant spell card, and he's 3k attack. So he's an amazing just offensive presence on the field, and it's really tough for some control decks to out it.
Very nice, very nice. Only one of each of the big mutant guys?
Only one of each. I used to try, or I tried to play 2 beasts because the spell negate is really strong, but with my luck in opening random hands, I always see at least one of these in one of my opening hands. So it hurts, and I don't want to see them if I don't have to.
Gotcha, gotcha.
The next are the hand traps. So I play 3 Dimension Shifter and 3 Ash Blossom. So the D Shifter is absolutely amazing. No explanation needed. Macrocosmos on your opponent's turn. If they commit a summon, drop D Shifter. Sometimes the turn just literally ends at times because they can't afford to banish those resources. And then when they pass back to me, I'm able to use the small guys because they tribute themselves for cost, get them banished, and actually get the engine going, which actually helps out a lot. The next is Ash. I mean, it's an all-around good hand trap. Our locals is a lot of control. There's not too much combo, so sometimes dropping a well-timed Ash actually ends some turns.
Absolutely.
And these two in conjunction with each other is just absolutely unfair at times.
Yeah. Very nice.
Next are the spells. So I play the 1 Emergency Teleport. Shoutouts to Kazi for the ulti.
Very
kind of crispy.
Beautiful, crispy, icy even.
So E-Telly in the deck adds to tutor out the small guys. So I don't play a large monster lineup, so I'm drawing a lot of spells and traps. Seeing the E-Telly only helps to see the starter cards a lot more. Since these cards themselves inherently go neutral and hand advantage, because you have to summon them, you search, you plus, but then you have to tribute and banish to go back to neutral just to bring out a subpar boss monster. Just having access to them more rapidly, like during the draw phase, because I do play Pot of Extravagance. Draw phase, drop this, because a lot of people like to add Droll, because I do search a lot. Dropping this just gets that out. It also can bait some cards out that actually plays into some further plays down the line. I play the one called by because stopping hand traps at critical moments is extremely important. Just being able to banish something from my opponent's graveyard, interrupting their play line or something of that effect, negating an on-field effect with something in the grave already. It's just really strong, and I love it. I mean,
card's crazy.
The card is great. It's at 1 for a reason, right? So the next one of that I play is actually Mutant Fusion. I used to play 2 of this. I dropped it down to 1. For those who don't know, Mutant Fusion is their in-theme fusion spell. You banish monsters from your hand or field to special summon the fusion monsters. But what's interesting about this card is that if your opponent activated a card or an effect earlier in your turn, you can actually activate this card and banish one material from your deck and or from your graveyard in addition to the hand and field. So there are times where you can actually start a turn. If you have E-Telly in hand and you already have a small starter in hand, you can bait out an Ash with the E-Telly. Normal summon 46, grab this, tribute this off for a big guy. Now you have this in grave. You can then activate Mutant Fusion to banish this from grave and banish from deck to get a free fusion. It's great. It's
like Shaddoll Fusion, kind of.
Yeah, it's like Shaddoll Fusion, but what's amazing about it is that anytime if they sneeze wrong and activate a card, you literally just go plus.
Yes, absolutely. Very good card.
The next is Mutant Evolution Lab. So I've been debating with this card going from 3 to 2 to 1 and back up to 2. I decided to play 1 because it's searchable just like Mutant Fusion. On activation, it lets you special summon a mutant, level 4 lower mutant from your hand or your banish pile to the field. So if you previously banished a small starter off of D-Shifter Tribute, or you banished it for one of the larger mutants effects, you can get it right back and you can start to get your engine going again. The other effect is you can reveal a mutant monster in your hand, put it to the bottom of the deck, and then you draw 1 card. And then it has a continuous effect that increases the attack of all face-up mutant monsters by 100 for each mutant card with a different name that is banished. So the 100 does come up sometimes because people look like Arsenal already starts at 3K, and then he starts to get pumped up as I start to banish more cards. So he can kind of snowball out of control. But it does help Beast and Mist to get up to high attacks, because once they start getting above 3K, it's very difficult for some decks to out them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, I play the 3 Pot of Extravagance. It's, banish 6, draw 2. I chose this off of Prosperity. Some people have asked me why. The reason is, again, because the small mutants do nag from hand, or they give you neutral hand advantage. So sometimes it's better to see any card, 2 of any card, rather than pick 1 card. Because you can pick the starter, but then you have to still banish from hand to get something going. So just seeing 2 of any card is great, and I do play a lot of powerful trap cards, as a lot of people know tonight. A lot of floodgates, a lot of 1 for minis. So just getting access to them is great.
Yeah, easily.
So next are the trap cards. I play 1 trap trick. I used to play 2. Dropped it down to 1. The reason for this is it synergizes very well with the next card that I play, Mutant Cry. So
that's crazy.
Trap trick, as everyone knows, banish a normal trap, then set 1. You can activate that card that turn, but you can't activate any more trap cards in the turn. Mutant Cry is another in-theme fusion card, but this time it's a trap card. So for this, you can activate it during the main phase. You shuffle any number of mutant monsters from your field, graveyard, or your banish pile back into the deck, and you special summon or you fusion summon a monster. This is amazing with Trap Trick, because if you end on Beast, let's say, and they're attempting to wipe your board, or they're trying to out Beast, you can actually activate Trap Trick, banish the Mutant Cry, set the Mutant Cry, and if they destroy or out the Beast, you can get the Mutant Cry that you had banished back to your hand, and then you still have the Mutant Cry to activate for turn. So it's you fill the graveyard, because you have to have a small one in the grave to get to Beast. Then you have the Beast in the grave, and you instantly go into the fusion. So it keeps fueling itself, and it really does help the grind game. That's what really allows me to only play 1 of the big ones.
Yeah. That's nice that you can get those traps back off the trap trick. That's really, really nice.
It's amazing. You really never run out of the trap card. You play like 4 of them in that case.
It's crazy.
The next normal trap I play is Torrential Tribute. This card is great. Everyone loves to summon. A lot of people get hung up on counting the number of summons, and they kind of just forget that, hey, I'm still summoning a monster. Yeah. So if they're only, oh man, normal or special summon, they think in their mind, oh, that's summon 4, so I can go straight into battle phase. You go on summon, you flip Torrential Tribute, and you wipe their whole board. So having this alongside with the Trap Trick and the Mutant Cry and just everything in general is really nice, because this does have loose synergy with another one of the trap cards that I play, which is Mutant Expansion. So Mutant Expansion is I wouldn't say it's personal spoofing, but it kind of has the same feeling. It's a continuous trap card. On activation, you can take a level 4 or lower mutant monster from your deck, either add it to your hand or special summon it. And its other effect is if a face-up level 8 or higher mutant monster or monsters would be destroyed by card effect, not just your opponent's card effect, but card effect period, you can banish this face-up card instead and save all those monsters. So there are times where you have Torrential Tribute set, you have Mutant Expansion set, they summon a monster, a problem monster, or they have a large board, and you have, let's say, a mutant arsenal or something on field. You can activate Torrential Tribute on the summon and chain Expansion, add one of the smaller ones, and then on resolution, as this attempts to destroy all monsters on field, you banish this instead and save your monster. It's very strong. It's really strong. It's great, and people do forget that it can save multiples. So there are times where, you know, an interrupted Kaiju Slumber may come down, and then you just save everything. So now they still have to out those monsters.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next ones, there can only be fun.
Yes, we're only having fun here. Look at this.
We only have fun at locals. Yes. So TCBoo is TCBoo. The main deck monsters, the small ones, the level 3 and 2, are Psychic. The big ones are Beast, Spellcaster, and Machine for whatever reason. Yeah. So it allows them to play underneath There Can Be Only One very well. And alongside that, if you are in a position where you're stuck because the fusions are Psychic, you can just banish this off for a cost for any one of their effects, and then it allows you to play again. Wow. Or if it's really putting your opponent under pressure, they can pop it for you, and then they think they've, you know, opened the game state a little bit for themselves, but they're really at times helping you as well. Yeah. Which is great, because sometimes, you know, you just have the second one set anyway, and you just wait for you to make commit a play.
Wow, crazy card.
So some more fun. We have Imperial Order and Skill Drain. I found the ashiest Skill Drain I possibly could in my bulk.
Very nice.
Of Skill Drain, Imperial Order, don't need to explain their effects, but what is interesting, again, is that the large mutants banish for cost to activate their effects, as well as the small ones. So if you have a Skill Drain face up on the field, and you want to, say, I don't know, interact with the spell card with Beast, or interact with the trap card with Mist, you can actually, under Skill Drain, banish themselves for the cost of that effect. The effect will resolve because this only negates monsters who's face up on the field while this is face up. Or you can just banish Skill Drain. I mean, whatever works, right? Yeah. And then Imperial Order just turns off spell cards because I get sick and tired of getting absolutely blown back by Harpy's Feather Duster.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, Triple Solemn Strike. We hate inherent summons and we hate monster effects out here. There's no monster effect negation main deck. This is the only option I have, and sometimes striking the right card is all you need to do.
Yep, Strike's amazing trap right now.
Oh yeah, Strike is beautiful. Absolutely. Being able to negate all these Elder effects engraved to pop is chef's kiss.
Yes.
So for the extra deck, I play 3 Mutant Synthesis. So this guy is like a mini masterpiece. He requires 2 mutant monsters with different attributes. So the small ones are water, Beast is earth, Mist is wind, and Arsenal is fire. So they're all different. They're all over the place. Yeah. When he's fusion summoned, you can target a card on the field and pop it. So it can be either side of the field. And he has another effect where he's kind of like Masterpiece as well. Is if your opponent activates a card effect, monster, spell, or trap, you chain his effect. It becomes immune to that card type for the rest of the turn. So if they activate a spell, chain effect, he's immune to spell cards. Nice. His final effect is if he's destroyed, I can add a banish mutant card, so monster, spell, or trap, one of them to my hand. And that's it, 25 attack, so with the spell card, he can get to 3k pretty easily. And he's great for interruptions with Mutant Cry on my opponent's turn.
Very nice.
Next is the Big Don Dada, Mutant Ultimus. So play 3 of these because, of course, extravagance. But this guy requires 3 level 8 or higher mutant monsters. Okay, so Synthesis is level 9. This guy's level 10. The main deck ones are level 8. His effect, he's like a better Macabre, I would argue.
Yeah.
So if your opponent activates a spell, monster, or trap card or effect, you can banish a mutant card, monster, spell, or trap of the same type from your field, your hand, or your graveyard. Negate that activation and banish it.
Very strong.
So you put a lot of resources into getting him on the field. It's actually kind of easy if you've gone through a Synthesis and you special summon the level 8s a little bit and you just flip Cry and summon this on your opponent's turn. But being able to use your graveyard as a resource is great because his other effect, if he's destroyed by my opponent, I can target a banished mutant monster, spell, and trap, so one of each, and add them to my hand. So he fused his own recursion effect, so it literally just keeps going.
Crazy.
So now you've extended those 4 mutant cries to like, I don't know, what's this, 3 more, a billion mutant cries.
Yeah, there's too many to count at this point.
I crunched the numbers. So the rest of the extra deck is a little bit of filler that I kind of just threw together at the last second. There's a lot of invokes, there's a lot of Dogmatica at locals. So I decided to throw these in. We have the Battle Butler, the Rip Roaring, and the Ints. So, you know, they Maximus, they get punished. They Maximus, I have access to either add back a card or special summon one of the small ones from grave, get their effects, and just go off from there on my opponent's turn, which is great. There's nothing more to say about these other than that. Yeah, they're just great filler cards and punish Maximus, or, I mean, I can even, if they Maximus, I can send my own Ultimus and fuel my Mutant Cries because it just puts it back in the extra deck anyway, so it's like I lost nothing.
Very nice.
The next one, more filler, Goddess of the Underworld. I like it, I like the color. She's
kind of clean looking.
Kind of clean, flexing, you know, blue card, blue sleeves, you gotta represent. But I was at some point playing Crackdown in the deck. So the idea was to crack down my opponent's monsters, use them as resources, banish them, and if I've cracked down or taken enough monsters or have enough presence on field and I've gone through my fusions, I can just kind of steal another monster by making this and hopefully lock the game down from there.
Very good.
And then the final big brain play is Triple of the Warrior from a different planet. God. Another planet.
This card is scary, man.
The card do be putting people on their heels. So
it really does.
I was playing Waking the Dragon.
Yep.
But I kept this in just in case I do indeed go up against a Dogmatica, because if I send this, they get scared of Waking the Dragon in the back row. So then they start to double check or think about popping my back row. Yeah. When in actuality I have nothing set, you know. I have no real card set, but this strikes fear in their heart.
Big brain.
So I was thinking of putting more links, you know, utility links and everything like that into the deck, but at the moment I only ever go into the fusions. But I was hit with D-Barrier, but I mean the main deck monsters, the level 8s they're good enough to put pressure on my opponent.
Absolutely.
So finally for the side deck, I have the triple Droll Lock, because everyone likes to search. I also like to search. Searching is fun.
Yes, it is.
I have the triple Nibiru, because everyone likes to summon, you know. Keep them honest. You summon 5 times, you get punished. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yes, sir.
I have triple Forbidden Droplets. So I play the drip in the side mainly because it conflicts with D-Shifter.
Yeah.
Because this has to be able to send to graveyard for cost, and under D-Shifter you can't do that. And I was finding myself in a lot of scenarios where I would D-Shifter on my opponent's turn, have Droplet to negate something, but then I can't negate it because I'm under Shifter. So then I have to play into the negate, and then I just set and pass, and I usually end up getting my hairline blown back, right? So I decided to put it in the side just to shift or to replace the Shifter when if it's better suited for the matchup. But I am considering maybe taking these out altogether and just playing Dark Ruler no more, because the deck, although it is control and is back row heavy, having access to the Mutant Fusion does allow you to break some boards, because you can cause them to activate a card effect just in case they don't want to lose it, and then you Mutant Fusion, go off, and then you go from there.
Yeah, okay.
I play a triple Cosmic Cyclone because we don't like back row out here. Back row control is great, and then on top of that I play triple Evenly Match.
Nice.
So for the local environment, again, a lot of control. So these two do put in a lot of work. You know, banishing zombie worlds or banishing floodgates, banishing anything that I don't like that my opponent has. You know, banish their field, they save 1 set card, you pop it with this, and then you just go off.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun time for me only and no one else. But I really did enjoy this. For the side deck, I don't think I'll make any immediate changes. Unless the landscape of the meta changes drastically, like if a lot more combo starts coming out, there is the opportunity to play some more higher impact hand traps like the Gammas or something like that. But at this point, this does perfectly fine.
Nice. So what were your matchups?
Okay, so round 1, I played yours truly.
Yes, sir.
I played the Earth Machines. Last time I played 2 weeks ago, I actually got destroyed by Earth Machines. It was terrible. I watched the one deck once a month on that. It hurt. But yeah, it was a fun game for me again because I had the floodgates. I had There Couldn't Be Only Ones. I had the.
You had the Evenly.
I had the Evenly. Yeah. I had just a bunch of very strong control blowout cards, and we went to game 3, but again. There Can Be Only One is really fun.
It is so damn strong. It's so strong.
Round 2, I played against Infernoid Dogmatica. It was very interesting. First turns were just set cards, say go. There was some artifacts splashed in there to lock me out of the extra deck, but I was able to put a lot more pressure on, and again, I flipped I believe in the same game, I ended up flipping Skill Drain and Imperial Order.
Oh my god.
And just putting way too much pressure on my opponent. Well-timed Ash on the Void Feast stopped him from flooding the board. I mean, there was back and forth in the second game. However, I was just able to put it on a little bit too much pressure with my level 8, and he wasn't able to crack it that easily.
Yeah, okay.
Round 3, I played against Zombie Turbo. Not too much to say about the game. Game 1, he played his entire hand to out my 1 Mutant Beast and 4 back row. So it was a Twin Twister followed by a chained Mutant Expansion followed by a Ash followed by a Forbidden Droplets negate my beast.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy chain link, and then on resolution of everything, he had 1 card left in hand, he set it, and then on end phase, I just drew for turn and proceed to flip expansion again, and then go from there.
So good, so good.
Game 2, I just double Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone, his Zombie World, he played another one. Then he set a card, I hit the card happened to be Rivalry. So from there was just no way he can fight back from that.
Yeah.
And the final game was against my main man, Adam Kosmowski Kaz. Again, there was a lot of fun in that match.
So much fun happening.
I flipped There Can Be Only One, and Earth Machines are all machines, It's tough. It hurt to see it, but
yeah, it does.
Again, put on too much pressure with my different typed monsters, and was able to take game 1, game 2. He really did pick my hand apart literally with Interblast Near. He did the whole combo, rank 9 stuff. It was crazy. It was a beautiful way to, nice back and forth in that one. But in game 3, it really came down to the wire. Time was about to be called, and he was left with a Citadel. I had Strike set, I had a Cry set, and I really just had to put enough damage on board where he couldn't come back, because at that point he was top decking. Getting access to the Synthesis with the Cry, popping the Citadel, saving the Synthesis with the expansion
so good.
Was great, because then I just have 5k on board, and if you can't draw a monster, that's game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it was a great night of locals. I had a lot of fun. It's my first time, or my second time playing ever since I got vaccinated. So it's nice to come out and represent a little bit.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate the profile, man. Congratulations. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's always been a kill sign out. We'll see you guys in the next one.